But yeah. Hi.
Hey everyone, this is the second episode of Student Voice, and the topic for this episode is what makes high school meaningful? And we're not going to answer that question in the beginning. I'll ask it to Mikail at the end. But yeah, and the way I came up with it, I was reading autobiography by this like neurosurgeon,
Yeah.
and before he entered into college, he wanted to become a writer or something, right? And he said that the reason that he wanted to pursue higher education was to find out what makes life meaningful. And so I thought that was a refreshing way to look at it instead of like trying to find like a job and like make a lot of money and then become comfortable in like the later parts of your life.
Yeah.
Instead, his whole purpose of going into college and then eventually medical school was to find out what makes life meaningful. So I wanted to explore what makes high school meaningful.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
That's cool.
do it then. Yeah.
Okay. So the first question I wanted to ask was, how would you describe your high school experience so far?
Okay. So we just got done with our junior year, right? We'll be seniors next year. Past 3 years have been good, man. I mean, I can't really complain much about it. There's a lot of unnecessary drama, I guess, but just with a lot of stuff. But it ended up like good, I thought. But I think summer is like where everyone's gonna like do a lot of their like career oriented stuff. I mean, that's what I have going on. That's what you have going on. But no, school. I mean, I think like the past like few weeks kind of told me that like there's a lot outside of school that matters, that like objectively more, but yeah, no, but I mean it's been good. Yeah. What about you?
I think, I guess junior year has been the most like exciting
Yeah, no, for
portion of my
sure.
high
Yeah.
school career. I remember in like freshman and like part of sophomore year, I was like, sometimes I'd just be like afraid to like talk, or I was very like inside my box, you know.
Yeah, no, I
Like
feel you, man.
I'd go to high school and I'd be like a completely different person, and then I'd come home and it'd be like more myself, so to speak. And then like in junior
Okay.
year, it's like more of like me showing, which is cool. Like,
Yeah, no, there's so many more people. Like Plano East, I mean, it's a whole different environment. Like you don't really understand like the difference, not only in size, but just like competition and like just the
yeah,
people around you, but like I made a lot of like friends that I feel like I will be friends with like outside of high school this year. I'm not saying like sophomore for like I'm not saying like McMillan wasn't bad or anything. I love McMillan, that was great, but no, junior year was definitely the most fun, which I
yeah,
mean, it brings up like something that I kind of wanted to like talk about. People talk about junior year being like, oh, junior year is the worst year of your high school life. Like,
yeah,
there's so much to do. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
yeah.
I
It was
mean,
survivable. I
yeah,
mean,
I don't want to sound like cocky or anything, right?
I think
Because,
it's the most of what you make of it. So
yeah,
like it's not as like it's like I don't think junior year is bad in the sense where there's like so much stuff to do and you can't keep up with it.
yeah,
It's like how much art do you want to make yourself do?
yeah,
And
no, for
like
sure.
when you exit junior year, you'll either wish like, oh, I wish I did more, or you're happy with what you did. And so I
Yeah,
don't think it was anything like, oh, I'm so glad to be done with it. Actually, like I wish it
yeah.
like continued on a bit longer.
A lot of people, because I mean, after I mean, there was a lot of like just stigma going into the first semester. Everyone was worried, and then everyone's like, okay, this isn't. It's
Yeah.
just school. Right? I don't want to sound cocky, right? Because we did a lot. There was a lot of rigorous classes that we took. It's done now though. So like, I guess I kind of disagreed. Like, I'm kind of happy that like I don't have to take calc anymore,
Okay, that's true.
and
That kind of sucked.
and physics. But no, the experiences were really good. I probably like one of the most enjoyable years of my life for sure. You know, made a lot of memories though. like a
Yeah.
lot. But yeah,
And what you were saying about like Plano East being different than like the junior highs,
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more like there's a atmosphere of like opportunity,
yeah,
and I feel like that's really cool because
hmm,
like Williams, I guess maybe it might be different at Macmillan, but like at
yeah,
Williams it felt like sort of like closed
yeah.
in,
No,
where like there were like clubs and stuff, but like compared to Plano East, there's like so much more you can do.
yeah, no. There's so much. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, that's why I'm thankful. I was in like these hard classes. I met a lot of people who were way more like driven and focused than me at the beginning. But they kind of told me about like there's so many things you can do here, so much you can do with your time, and so that's I mean that's kind of the route I took. But no, I get what you mean. Macmillan and Williams, they're very different. It almost like doesn't prepare you. But no, I mean experiences were good.
Hmm.
I don't think I can really say anything negative about like the high school experience that I've had so far. But yeah.
Yeah. So on to the next question. What are the
Okay.
most important aspects of high school for you?
Oh man. Okay. Um, I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Um, well, I think the first thing that jumps out at me is like academics, so like grades
Yeah.
especially. Well, I guess that's always been like throughout school, like
Yeah.
even middle school and stuff,
Hmm.
where like I have to keep my grades up. But like, yeah, I'd say like that's like the first thing that jumps out to me, and then the second is like friendships and like relationships with people, like
Yeah.
social circles. So
Yeah. I mean, I kind of disagree,
really,
Yeah, I mean, academics are important. Yes. I think those like stay like at the top, right? But I think after that, um, I mean, I think that a lot of the stuff you do like outside of that scope of just school, matter more,
hmm,
you know. Um, Especially because like I mean I don't know, I've always grown up with the idea that like a lot of these people I know now, which obviously changed this year, but a lot of people I know now, I'm not going to know them in like 5 years. It doesn't matter. So just focus on myself more than anything, make friends along the way, but don't put that priority there. I mean, this year kind of flipped that on its head. I met a lot of really good people. I reconnected with a lot of like um, a lot of people that I haven't talked to since like eighth grade or like in middle school or whatever it was really,
yeah,
right? But um, I do think that like your social circle like should be up there. I think that people often like I mean at least like Asian culture, right? We both grew up with that. Like there's a lot of dogging on like um, being like as friendly and like kind of sticking to like the high school tropes and movies and stuff, like in all these Western films. But um, because I mean, I can speak like from experience. Like my parents were like, don't bother making any friends in high school. Don't bother like talking about
oh,
you. Yeah, it was.
okay,
I completely like did not listen to that, but they were just like focus on yourself. But you can like it's so achievable to do both, and like you should definitely try to have friends, I think that's super important. So I do agree, but I also kind of disagree. But yeah.
yeah. I
uh,
think a lot of like the personal decisions that you have to make in high school is like sacrificing some of the things that are important for you to
yeah,
like
for
grow in
sure.
something else. So
Yeah. And it's also like I mean at least for like some of the not some but like a lot of the people that like I talk to, like it's kind of hard to like develop like good friendships sometimes, because there's that idea that like oh everyone is competition, um so I mean that obviously like causes some people to be standoffish, I
yeah,
guess. And
but I don't know. For me, I at least don't really pay attention to that
yeah.
because I don't know. Like
No,
they're
I
your
mean,
competition, but like I don't think helping them in like
no,
your
that's what
capacity will really
yeah,
put them above you. Like
Yeah,
either
yeah.
way, it just depends on like how much work you put in, and like connecting with other people won't really like off-put
Yeah,
whether.
no, 100%. I mean, I agree with that, right? I mean, obviously, like, I do talk to a lot of people. Like, I would say I'm like personable, you know, like I have friends, but um, yeah, I get what you mean with the competition thing, um, but yeah. Mhm.
So if you had to sacrifice one of the aspects that are important for you in high school, what would it be?
I mean, as of recently, like me speaking right now, you know, I think it would be the social aspect of it, you know. And like don't get me wrong, you know, like it's good to be so like have friends. Like that's such a good thing. It helps like with you and like not only like how much fun you have, but like with your mental health too. But you know, it's I think there needs to like be a point in time, at least like in the later years of high school, where if you really want to do something, you know, um, you have to like put that over like the social circle that you have, you know, because you know at some point in your life, at least this is what I think, right? It's like you either pick like your social life or your like academic or like your career life, you know. You can handle, you can like balance both, but it's about which one's more important to you. And that little bit of importance, you know, even if you're balancing both, like that little bit more that you care about one thing will show, you know. And if it's for your like academic career and stuff, I mean, that's the hard work you put in on your own. But yeah,
Yeah, I
what do
agree.
you,
I would
yeah.
sacrifice social life too.
Yeah, but it's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a really
that's
good
good.
thing, you know. I don't think I'd be where I am right now without my friends.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to have some degree of social connection to really like be able to drive yourself to do like the hard
Yeah,
work
and I
alone.
mean, you don't
So,
want to be awkward.
yeah, that's important too.
No, I'm just kidding. But you know,
Yeah.
like it's good to be talking to people. I think high school is like such a good like it gives you like a what's the word I'm looking for? It gives you like a start to like networking, like to a degree, you know, like talking to like-minded people. You know, at least at like Plano East, I felt like that.
Yeah.
You know, there were so many people that were so like similarly minded, you know, with the field I wanted to go into and the things that I wanted to do. And so like talking to them, like becoming friends with them, or even just like good terms with them, you know, opened up like a bunch of opportunities for me, you know, whether it was like different like clubs or opportunities I just didn't even know about. But you know, and in that situation, like it's better to be talking to like a lot of people, you know, because it'll open you up to a bunch of new things. Like DECA, I mean, I didn't know DECA existed
Yeah.
until this year, you know, and that was just because I had friends who like, dude, I had a lot of friends in speech, and they were like, oh, like you should do this, and I did, and it was like one of the best experiences ever, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm like a big advocate for stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Same
yeah,
for me with HOSA. It's like really fun competition, and
yeah. No, I was gonna bring it. I mean,
yeah.
you and your group. I mean, um, you guys had a lot of fun, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of like other friends I had that go to like different schools, and just like people, like other people I know, they were like, "No, Hosa's really fun. You know, Hosa's good." So yeah, that's why I'm gonna like see where I can get next year. You know, with me and some of my friends. But yeah, you know,
Yeah. And
you're like my role model, man.
no. Like sort of going back to like the social thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is something I only feel. I'm sure it's not, but if I'm not fulfilled with how like my progress toward my
Like
goals
how well you're doing.
in
Yeah.
social scenarios, or like in any like things that would be considered strictly like entertainment or like for fun,
Yeah.
like I'm not able to like fully like appreciate that or like allow myself sort of to have fun in those scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking back to like how am I going to like make up for this time? I don't know.
You hang out with a group of friends and you don't have 100% fun. You're just
Yeah,
like,
I
I
mean,
gotta make up for the summer.
no, I mean, I don't. Do you not feel
No,
that?
no. I mean, I do. But I try to make the most out of like everything I do. I mean, obviously, I've had things that I've done or things that I've gone to or like put my time into it, and that afterwards I'm just like, this is such a waste of time, But yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're coming from. Yeah, I think a lot of people would feel the same way about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. This is sort of going off topic, but like that's like where you're able to be fulfilled with your progress
Mm.
towards your goals is like probably like the pinnacle of like what I see right now is enjoying life.
Yeah, no, for
Because once you're
sure.
fulfilled with that, like whatever else you do,
Yeah.
you can like you're happy, I guess, in the moment. And
Yeah, no,
so,
I 100% agree with that,
mhm.
At least now, like with everything coming up so fast, like it's yeah.
It's hard to get there. So,
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, people underestimate the amount of work you got to put in if you really want to do something,
mhm.
you know. Um like it's a lot of people, I mean, well, not me, but like a lot of people kind of look at high school as such a daunting thing, you know, me included. I know even going into this year, kind of back to what I was saying, I was like, okay, this is terrifying. Like I like this is like because I mean I was fed into my brain like from like upperclassmen that I knew. They were like, junior year is so hard, like all of this. I mean,
I feel like instead of saying junior year is so hard, they should have said
yeah,
make the most out of junior year.
yeah. I mean, that would have been a lot better advice.
Yeah.
But I think like it just it goes, yeah, like you said earlier, like it comes down to how much work you really want to put in. Like, what do you want to do for yourself, you know? And that drive is like something that develops over time. Like that drive developed for me over junior year, because I was a lot more content with just whatever. I mean, at least at the beginning, just kind of ease myself into it. And then it got a lot stronger as the year continued. And as I saw
Yeah.
like other people like doing things, I was like, you know what? Like I want to do something for myself too. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that?
Um, well, yeah, for I think it like your like motivation to do more like grows
Yeah.
as you get closer to college up. So since junior year is so close, you kind of have to
Yeah.
make the most of it, or else you
Mhm.
feel like you're left out. So yeah.
Yeah. Something though is that a lot of people put a lot of work into things like just for the college app. Um, like a lot of people just do things like, oh, it'll be good for my college application. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, have you done stuff like? Because I have.
Well, yeah.
Like people
I feel like
do.
every like
Everyone.
even if it's not just for college apps, like
Yeah,
everything sort of has like the small part of it being, oh, I can make use of this
yeah.
somehow.
No, it's all correlated. But the things that stand out are the things that like if you do something and it matters to you and you care about it and like you can see that, like that's what sets you apart. It's not doing like I think that's another thing that a lot of like a common misconception, that like doing like all these different things are gonna put you ahead of the game. But it's all about like developing like a passion that you have, like having a big spike in like your sense of direction. Um, but yeah, it's hard to find that passion though sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think like doing like a bunch of different things at the beginning just to see like, okay, so I'm not doing this. I think that's good. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like hard to find something that you like to do and then tailor it toward like somehow fitting into your academic pursuits.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's tough. But I feel like for me, at least right now, that'd probably be robotics because like
Hmm.
I always enjoy doing it.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You're a pre-med guy though. I mean,
I mean,
people look at that, they're like, you know.
you know,
But no, I mean, I get it. it's the same thing for home stuff for me.
And not
so.
everything like not everything has to correlate to your path. So like I know a lot of
Yeah.
like musicians that get into like medical school, or apparently the highest statistic of people who are more likely to get into medical school based on their majors are people who do like music.
Actually?
But yeah,
Huh.
but like the reason for that is because if you're so dedicated toward getting into medical school and that's your major, you sort of have to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And so like the people who do music, or the below that is math.
Actually.
So yeah, below that's math. You have to put in so much extra work.
Yeah.
To where like once you do apply, you're probably like, I don't know, you're like set apart.
Yeah.
Like as opposed to like the people who do more conventional majors like biology and stuff, they're already sort of on that path. So
Yeah.
in some cases, you might just coast along.
That's really interesting, man. Wait, hold on. Let me check it for recording real quick.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's all good. Okay.
I thought you were gonna like pull a prank on me,
What?
and say, "Dude, it's not recording." Like, what the heck?
That would have been really sad. Oh, now I should have. Okay, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. So the next question is, I know that you value being social, but do you think everyone should? And to add on to that, how do you define being social?
I think, how do I define it? I mean, I think, because, well, actually, I can't say that, but like, I think everyone should be 100%. I think everyone should try to like meet new people. I think that's so important. I get being introverted, right? I was until high school. Like, luckily for me, I hung around some people that kind of brought me out of my shell. But I know what that is, what that feels like. Like being like kind of secluded and all of that, right? But I think everyone should really try to, and that's why, even now, like I try to be that person for different people. Like I met a lot of people this year who had like genuine like drive and wanted to do something, and they just didn't know like what they could accomplish. They didn't have the opportunity to like do that, and becoming like more person, like having that one person who like makes you step out of your shell like that. I think everyone needs someone like that. But being social, I think, is like super duper important. But it also like it's beneficial like more than anything. A lot of Asian culture, right? A lot of people are like you shouldn't do all that. Like you should like be focused on yourself and your own thing. But it aids in that too, And I mean,
Yeah, I think it's about the right balance.
yeah, and like it helps a lot with like managing yourself too. Like sometimes you need just like okay, like sometimes you need a little bit to just like ease your brain, think about something else, because burnout's a real thing, man. That it happens. But yeah, but as far as like defining being social, it's a spectrum, right? There are people who talk to everyone, there are people who talk to a few people, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
about burnouts,
yeah.
I heard about something interesting related to that, where it was like, well, for me at least, I wonder if like I've worked in hard enough to like ever get close to burning out, and so I sort of I wanna feel how it is to like I want to go through like burning out, so that like I know where that level
So you know
is,
how
and then
bad it is?
I know how bad it
Yeah.
is, and like where that level is, and then for the rest of, well, maybe like however long you're working on that thing, just work like a level below that. And so it's like
Yeah.
you know where to gauge yourself.
It's hard though, because you could, there's a bunch of different factors that could play into it.
Yeah,
Like it
that's
could
true.
just be working, and then like if that's it, then you could work like a fairly decent amount before you actually get burned out and I just can't do anymore. But if there's other things like stacking on top of it, that's why burnout's so like common in school, you know, because school, like it's so many different like I mean, at least like your cores, right? Like they're so vastly different sometimes, and so um, you know, balancing all of that, and then like a lot of people are doing a lot of things outside of school. That and like, you know, if something happens like on a family end or like anything like that, like it happens a lot, you know, and so I think that, you know, well, I hope you never feel burnout, man. You know, it's not it doesn't like change you like that. It's just like because I mean I don't know if I've ever been like actually burned out
Yeah,
either. Like
I guess
I
it's hard to like be self-aware of
yeah
if you are burned out because
yeah
like when you're in that state, it's just like negative, I'd say so.
yeah dude, I had a dream about grilled cheese yesterday. Sorry, off topic. I was just thinking about
All right, what
because
about it? What
well, I
about
was
it?
burned.
Oh, okay.
That was oh, cut the
Nice.
camera, cut the camera.
That's
No, I just had to, I was thinking about it. But
wait. So you were the grilled cheese?
yeah.
Oh,
Was that a
that
problem
sounds
or?
like a nightmare.
No, it was fine. I was just burned. You know, I don't know. But
Interesting.
yeah. um about like burning out, like it's hard to know if you really have or not. Because there have been times where I've been stressed out, you know, times where I'm just like I don't want to do like all this anymore, right? Like just like the school stuff, you know. But it's difficult to tell if it's burnout or not, you know. I mean, there are times where I've had to like maybe take a day to like just kind of recuperate, just because I've been I've been doing so many things. But yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's different because like people define it as different things. You know, actually, is there a definition for burnout?
You want to search it up on Google?
Yeah,
Okay.
is there? We could just be like entirely wrong, you know.
Form of exhaustion caused by constantly feeling swamped.
Right, so I mean, it's like what is swamp? What is swamp to you? You know, like it's different.
Um, it's
But
just I think it's just a synonym for
cinnamon.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, I got you thinking about food now, man. But yeah, no,
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, going back to
The
if
topic,
everyone should be social, I feel like for me at least, I think like other people are very interesting. Like it's
no, I get 100% what you mean. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
and
yeah,
so like you can learn like so much from just like interacting with a different person. Like even aside from the people you're used to, and so like I think Jordan Peterson he's a controversial figure.
I don't know.
If you haven't heard it, I don't know. It's something to do with politics.
Uh-huh.
But back in the day, I read some of his book, and like one of the things that he said was like you can learn something from everyone. I guess it's important to remember that so you just don't pass it off as being inconsequential.
So, have you learned something from everyone you've met? Like genuinely speaking, you know.
I think sometimes it's different from like the academic like
Yeah.
definition where like you're learning like a new piece of information. In some cases, it can just be like a different perspective. And so like when I asked you what are the different like aspects of high school that you thought were meaningful, I I was like I think I learned something new when you disagreed with like the relationship aspect or like
Yeah.
social.
Yeah. I mean, like it's important, right? But it shouldn't be like as high of a priority if you, I mean, like it just depends on your goals, you
Yeah.
know, and what you want to do, what you want to make of high school. But yeah.
And then for those who don't have enough time to like divert to larger social events, how what would be like an everyday thing that people could do to like I guess, feel content with their social relations?
I mean, I I didn't have a lot of time to, you know, I couldn't give a lot of time to like big social events like that. And so, I know what that's like. I have a lot of friends in that same situation, but as far as like filling up like your own like social like being content with your own like social status and stuff like that. I mean, it really depends, but it's all about like being reasonable with yourself too. Like enough for me is like just I mean hanging out with my friends like during lunch, like that's enough for me to be like okay, like that was my time, now I can do something else. But I think outside of that, um being friends with like-minded people, I think it helps to not only like put you in a situation where it's like entertainment, but it's like you're in a good spot that you're learning too. Like my friend group this year completely changed, like flipped on its head. Like I spent a lot of my time with a lot of the kids from IB, the ones who were
Yeah.
interested in going into CS like me, like, and that it helped a lot because I had fun. I had a lot of fun this year, but it didn't like divert me from the path that I wanted to be on, and it helped being like around everyone else, that was also focused. It's like that one saying, like you hang out with six idiots, you'll be the seventh, or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I think last time you said it, it was you hang out with 4 idiots, you'll be the fifth.
Okay. No, I don't remember the number ever. I think it's if
That's a
you hang
catchy
out with
saying,
I
though.
think it's like if you hang out with five idiots, you'll be the sixth. I think that's the
Okay.
final one.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, it is a catchy saying, but you can say it with everyone, I think to an extent, definitely, because I don't fully agree with this, but like the company you keep definitely does play a role in who you are, you know? And so, um, like that's what the whole saying is about. Like you are the company who you keep. But like, I want to preface that like, I don't think that's 100% true. I think you can hang out with people. I think you just have to limit yourself and know like what's good for you. Like as your own person, I think if you can kind of gauge your own status and your own like goals and stuff, then that saying won't necessarily apply, you know. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because I get a lot of stuff from a lot of my friends. They're like, no, I disagree. But what do you think about that?
Um, you mean like relating to the question I asked you?
And just like the whole like you are the company you keep type of thing.
Oh, yeah. I think I agree. It's I guess some people might be opposed to like saying that like they would like adapt to or like become more like people that they see as like below them or like have or get like the bad habits that they don't want for the people they hang out with.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, no, for
think
sure.
part of it is that you get you get used to that. Like let's say you're in the company of like people who negatively affect you. When you get used to that, and then also like that becomes your new norm.
Yeah,
So like it's easy to become more like those people because you're more like used to like just being in that scenario and
yeah,
that
no,
like that
definitely.
follows you. So if you don't like talk to
Yeah,
people who then uplift you from that
yeah,
like
no, for sure.
spot,
Yeah.
then I guess you'll become more comfortable in that and you'll become more like them.
Yeah, no, I get 100% what you're saying. Like, um, I mean, my friend groups have like differed, like, well, not every year, but like, I've met a lot of different people and like found myself in different groups and hanging out with different types of people like all the time. And I mean, everyone has their tendencies. But yeah, I think it's a lot of it is just about being aware, like of what is good for you and what's not. But like you said, like that's very difficult to do sometimes, like if you just have one group, but so if advice to whoever is listening, like if you have people who aren't uplifting you and make you feel bad about yourself, go get some new friends, man. I mean, there is
Yeah.
so many more people in the world. Um, that care about you more, you know. It's not about like you know, but I understand like the attachment like that comes with that, you know. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel about like friend groups and stuff? Like, has yours differed a lot in the past? Let's just like your high school career, like how has it changed and has it like changed for the better?
I think it's for me, it's not whether my friend group has changed, it's how many more I've like found.
Yeah, yeah.
So like
No, I agree with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess like after like every year some people you just stop talking to. So like when
Hmm.
I was in my freshman year, I was in like an algebra 2 class, and like Sasir, which sat next to me, I still talk to him a lot because he used to be in a lot of my classes.
Yeah.
And then there's this other guy who sat next to me. I used to talk to him, but like some people, if you don't establish that like common connection, where like the only thing that you have in common then is like the place you are,
Yeah.
then like you'll obviously lose that. But like if you're able to like find some like meaning in your connection, then you'll most likely like still talk to that person after. So
Yeah.
like throughout high school, I've just like had a lot more friend groups I've been a part of, and then I guess I've like shifted how much time I give to each one. Yeah, I guess my answer to the question,
Yeah.
it's not more of an everyday thing, but if like let's say a certain person is like less inclined to see like the value in like larger social events,
Yeah.
then it's like volunteering will always help your
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like
No,
help you in the
definitely.
future for whatever you apply for, or just like in general. And so like today I went volunteering at like an animal shelter,
Yeah. Which one do you go
and
to?
I got a second chance SBCA.
Oh, that's
It's good
good,
if
man.
you want to check it out. It's only cats and dogs, and they're very nice.
Oh my god.
Sometimes they bite you though. So
Why are you plugging your animal
dude,
shelter?
they need some volunteers. Today was only 2 people in my shift. So
Oh really?
yeah, it's like a certain like peace of mind that you get into when you're like giving your time toward something else. And so like when I was just like washing like the dishes, like the dogs like
Oh,
bowls.
for the butt. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was just like
It makes you feel good,
relaxing,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No,
mhm.
and being able to like do
Yeah.
something for other people is good too. Like
Yeah, and then
it
when
makes
I
you feel
came
good
back,
about yourself.
yeah, when I came back home, I like felt a lot more like, I guess like not energetic in a way, but like fulfilled, like
Hmm.
the same way that I would if I just like spent time hanging out with friends, even though it was a dog shelter.
Yeah,
So
for sure. I mean, that's why I work with like all the kids over here, like at this elementary school. Like, that's why I go over there to like teach and like provide insight. You know, that's why I mean I've always been big on like helping people and stuff. But yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, man. It makes you feel good about yourself. You know,
yeah,
it's a good thing. You know, it's another thing in high school. Like, worry about yourself, but like be a good person too. Don't be mean. But
yeah.
yeah.
And then this is a question that I thought of. I guess it sort of relates to this topic. It could be its own episode,
Yeah.
but it's is happiness like the goal of life?
It's happiness.
In your
That's like the deepest question you've ever asked me.
I know. And
I think objectively, yes. I mean, I don't know,
yeah,
because there's a lot of different things that happen in your life. Obviously, you know, in the future, my goal is success. You know, like that matters to me the most. You know, being able to like come out of it and be like, okay, like I was something or I did something like to change like my little corner or like my little area of the world. You know, like I think that's super important. I think having a mindset like that is what's helping me, like, and like what's making me driven to do the things that I continue to do like today, you know. But I think that I don't think, I don't know if happiness is like the goal, but I don't think it should be undermined to the point where you're not happy doing what you're doing. You
yeah,
know, I think doing like if you're doing something to better the area around you, or if you're doing something to be successful, it should be something that you love, you know. And I think that just kind of goes in correlation with like being happy with what you're doing and being content with what you're doing. So, you know, it's not the goal, but it's a factor, and like it's like one of the many things that come with like being successful and like making the most of who you are. I think making the most of who you are is is the most important, at least like coming out of life, you know. But I could be like very naive about it. I mean, I'm only 17,
I
right?
think it's a good answer. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you agree, or like what do you think?
I don't know, because when I include this question because in like the same autobiography I mentioned, it's called, if you want to check it out, it's called when when air becomes breath, or
Is
some,
that
it's something like that. It's by Paul Kalanithi. It's a good autobiography, but he mentioned how in his like college essay, he argued that like happiness wasn't the goal of life.
Yeah.
And that just like interested me because in my case, I didn't really know how to approach the question.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're gonna like to achieve your goals, you're gonna have to do a lot of things that don't make you happy in the moment, but then will ultimately give you like the satisfaction of knowing that you did it, and to like get to like the next place or so.
Yeah, it's a loaded question, man. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
I think somewhat happiness is the goal of life.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a big part of it for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, I don't know. I like it might sound like existential.
I'll have to write it down. That's how I like attack a lot of like the stuff that doesn't make sense to me. I just like journal about it.
That's good. Yeah, that's a healthy habit, man. I mean, yeah, no, I recently picked it back up, like just like every night, just write something about like my day, right? It helps, you know. But yeah, like every night, like I do the what's it called? I like that's another thing I started doing, right? So totally off topic, but kind of started like challenging my brain with everything I do. So like every night, like I do the like all the New York Times games, and then after that, like I journal, right? Like me and Emily do those, right?
That's
and
cool.
so yeah, but you know, and then I journal and do my own thing. But yeah, no, it's good practice, you know. I think it's important for sure. But yeah, I think good habits help a lot with like if you want to be something. I think like developing good habits is like the only way you can go about it, because you can't be successful and have like things that you do or tendencies that you have that make you like not a worse person, but like someone who's not as driven or hardworking as like the next person, because there's always going to be someone who's better. There's always going to be someone who's like working harder or like doing something that you're not, or that you haven't even thought about, you know. And so like I think being like being aware of that, well, not even being aware of it, because like you never want to compare yourself to someone like that. I mean, it's very self-deprecating, but you know, I think like having good habits and like starting from that is a really good way to like kind of make yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And something I just thought of was a comparison related to like whether happiness is the goal of life. I guess you can sort of comparing it. You could sort of compare it to like going to the gym, where like working out like can like is like to some degree painful, right? Because
you know, because I mean, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and like sometimes it can suck, but eventually, if you like bear with it, then you'll get like you might get a better image of like how you view yourself and like the body that you get as a result.
For sure. Yeah.
And then the other way, like I guess the end result is having more body positivity.
Yeah.
Right?
Or just like having like feeling better about yourself, you know.
And then in like another situation, rather than rather than like going through that like rather than like going through like the pain, I guess, to get to like the eventual outcome,
Yeah.
you can just like have body positivity of how you look right now. And I'm not saying which one's better because I honestly don't know, right?
Yeah.
I guess like to some degree, like people would like prefer having a better like conventionally like better looking body, right? But like I guess
Over
that
what?
sort of compares like if happiness is the goal of life, then those are two completely like valid
Yeah.
things.
So you wait. So you're saying that like some people would have a like just have a better like physical image or like self image than happiness, or like what do you like
I'm
what do you
saying
compare it
that
to?
if happiness is like the goal,
Yeah.
then both people have achieved it through a better
Yeah.
body image, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
one
Yeah. Yeah.
person went through like rigorous time to like actually like I guess like physically change,
Yeah.
and then one was more of like a mental thing, I'd
Yeah.
say. But
I
it's
mean,
a tough
both
subject. I'm not really
both are
sure what to
very. I
think
mean,
about
yeah,
it.
but I mean, when it comes to working out, like it's as much of a mental game as it is physical. I think it's like
Yeah,
more mental, if anything,
that's true.
because
To like
you
stick
know,
with it, and then
yeah. I mean,
also
like there. Have you seen that one movie where it's like, what is it called? It's like white guys can't jump or something like that, or like white guys.
I don't think I've had white
Okay,
guys
like
can't poop.
it's a basketball
Okay,
movie,
yeah.
or it's I don't know, I saw it on TikTok, but it was like I don't know, one guy, like the main character's dad, said something about like like your body's not tired, it's your mind that's weak, like you gotta get your mind right, right? And so I think it's the same thing when it comes to like any type of like physical exertion that you have, because your body can go through a lot, but your mind gives up before, like always. And so I think like when it comes to that, like at least like working out and stuff, like I think it's like being consistent like that is it takes like a mental strain on you, but having that consistency is super good. I think like it's hard though,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know. What was the question? Is happiness the
The
goal
goal
of
of
life?
life, yeah.
How we
But
start
I
talking
guess
about working out?
the scenario that I brought up, I don't know, I
Yeah.
just thought it was interesting because I don't know. I might take it out the video if it like seems too controversial or
It's not,
like
no, it's not
or
controversial. I get
I guess
entirely what you're saying
yeah.
though, because it's two totally different ideas, right? So I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I get it, man.
So
But
maybe
yeah,
maybe we'll make a part two, just for this question. I feel like that would be better to
that
like
would
come
be
through
good.
like
Yeah,
an actual answer. So yeah.
yeah, no, for sure we should, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things, like a lot of like off topic or like a lot of things that branch from I mean this episode in general that like there's so much more we could talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, sky is the limit,
Speaking of
man.
conclusions, I think we're ready for like the question of
The last one.
yeah, what
Okay.
makes high school meaningful to you? Like knowing what we discussed today.
I was trying to like delay that question for the longest because it's another loaded question. I mean, what is with you giving me all these loaded questions, man? You making me actually think. But no, I'm just kidding. But I think when it comes to high school, like the most important part of it, or like what like you should take away from it, like that is it all comes down to really just what you, how do I word this? Kind of just like really just making the most out of it for yourself, because I mean, the sky is the limit when it comes to high school, right? Well, I mean, that's a very controversial thing to say, right? Because I mean, there's obviously like a lot of different things that go into it. But when it comes to doing something and you want to be able to help people, or not even just help people, but you want to do something to like make yourself someone, like either whether it's to you or to someone else or whatever, like for whatever reason it is, I think if you want to make the most out of it, it all comes down to how much you want to put into it. you know, and like to what extent you're going to put work into something like that. Because, you know, you hear stories about people who like do really well in high school, who like establish like all these different like these nonprofits and these clubs, and like, oh, he was a varsity player. So like there's so many people like that who go off and do like amazing things, you know. But it's never easy. Like it's never ever been easy, you know. Um, like especially like, you know, um, like the top, you know, like being like at like all those people like at the top, you know, even in high school, like the people we know, you know, like it's very different. Like there's a lot of work that's put into it, you know, that a lot of people don't see. But that's the most important part of all of it, is like how much dedication, consistency, and discipline do you have for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to make yourself something. Because
Yeah.
it comes back to just how bad do you want it. You know, I think I said that in the first episode too,
Yeah.
because I am kind of big on that. It's really just how bad do you want it, you know? And so, and that is like a universal thing. Like that, you can talk about that with anything. Like there's so much that can go into, or like that can like suffice as a saying for. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's my answer. It kind of vague. Like I kind of like branch out, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, what about you? What
Yeah.
is the most important
Well,
thing?
I guess like first to address like the saying like how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
I feel like it can be like really good for like finding like a motivation, or initially just like questioning yourself, like is this something I really want?
Yeah. No, for
Right.
sure.
But like if it is something you really want, but you feel like you're not like moving toward it, then in some scenarios like that question can sort of defeat you, where you're questioning whether this is something you really want based on whether like how much effort you're able to put into it. And so in those cases, if it is something you really want but you're not satisfied with your like progress toward it, try to find like a different way to like to approach it. Because
Yeah.
in some scenarios it's not about how hard are you working, like how much of your work is going toward what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I guess you just have to really experiment with like moving towards your goals,
Yeah.
or like what stuff works for you, what stuff doesn't.
Yeah. No, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
but there's a lot that goes into it, you know. But it's really something that you just kind of you really have to debate with yourself about like if you want to do something. And you know, this isn't just for high school, this is for like whenever, you know. I think the most important part, or the thing you should like really take away from it, is um like if you want it, like you'll do it, you know. Like, and if it's but you have to make sure like it's something that you enjoy. Like I think that's something that people like miss sometimes when it comes to like putting a lot of effort into something, you know. Like people do things just for the application, like I said before. But it's a lot of it is like you have to like, it is so hard to do something that you hate and like really make something out of it, you know. People say it all the time, like don't work at a job you hate, you know. It's kind of the same thing. Like don't put your time and effort into something to make yourself something, or to make a name for yourself, you know. Like you know, that you don't want to do. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like my answer to the question, what makes high school meaningful, I think it's like discovering new things about yourself.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
so like that obviously like that obviously involves like what do you like doing, what are like hobbies that you want to continue, or like what like stuff that you actually like want to do in the future.
Yeah.
But also like discovering how hard you're willing to work, or
Oh,
like how hard you
100%.
can work.
No, yeah.
And so I guess that goes back to like seeing at what point you burn out. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I
yeah.
agree 100%. I mean, like high school, I'm still figuring out like who I am, I guess, you know. Like that's a very, very vague like
And like I
topic,
guess you'll
but
always continue like figuring out more stuff about yourself. But like in high
yeah.
school especially,
It's kind of where you set that basis.
Yeah,
Like, that's where you learn.
I can make a conscious effort toward it.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I guess that's high school. I mean, it's just yeah.
Yeah, like even if you don't totally feel fulfilled with all like the physical, well, like I guess like the material things that you
Yeah.
come out of high school with, such as like where you're going to college or like what
or-
projects you did.
Yeah,
If you're able to like answer like the questions of like how hard am I willing to work, how hard can I work,
yeah, or even how hard like did you work?
Yeah.
You know, like because there
or,
kind of comes a
yeah,
point where
the
it's
questions that will like help you throughout the rest of your life, I think you're in a very good spot.
like, yeah,
So,
no, for sure. And you know, like people, and it's also just about making the most out of it. You know, I don't know if I said that already, but like making the most out of what you have and what you want to do. You know, I think that is like really, that like really ties back to everything that we said. You know, it's just doing the most that you can, but like also, like, I mean, high school is an experience, man. I mean, people talk about it. Like, there's a reason like high school is like such a big part of like not only childhood, but like like, you know, life for like people like growing up, you know. And so I think that if you make the most out of it, really, like you said, like you're in a good spot, you know. And yeah, you know, I guess that's it. Yeah. But
and you can like make the most out of it starting now. Like it doesn't have to be where if you feel like you waste a year, it's over.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's a very big thing, man. Don't think you wasted your life because you're starting late. I mean, if you start, that's a huge thing, you know, because obviously, like everyone has their regrets. You know, it's like, oh, did I could have done this sooner, or I could have been on this like earlier. I wish I did this, but you know, make the most out of what you have, and you know, be grateful you even were given the opportunity, and just work on it, and like don't be afraid to start. I mean, people do things later in their life all the time. That one singer, Jelly Roll, you know him?
Nope.
He won a Grammy. He was like best new musician. He's like 39, you know. Not correlated at all, but
No, it makes sense. It's a good example.
But no, it's never too late to start doing what you love. It's too late to start doing something for yourself, or to do something like to make yourself, you know, like known, or like put yourself in that position where like you're content with yourself, because that's the goal. Like that's where you want to be. You want to be content at the end of it all, but it's never too late to get there.
Yeah. And I guess like usually we close up these podcasts with me asking if you could like tell any high schooler anything, like some one thing, like what would it be? But I feel like in this scenario, like what we talked about in this episode is what I would want to tell every high schooler.
The whole episode was
maybe not the like grilled cheese stream.
Okay.
But yeah, I
it
guess
was
like
I have to tell you, like off a camera. Okay. It was the weirdest thing, man. But no, you know, it was. It's good. You gotta have some fun sometimes, man. I don't know why you're judging me.
I'm not judging you. Yeah, I have
gee.
If I could remember the dream I had today, I'd tell you too. But like,
you don't remember the dreams you had?
I like remember like 10 seconds after I wake up, and if I don't write it down, then I forget. But it was really good, and then my dad woke me up. I was like, bro, I just want to go back to sleep and have that dream.
You ever have those dreams where like you try to go back to sleep, like you like physically try to, and it just doesn't happen?
Yeah, it devolves from like a dream into me acting out the scenario, but like being conscious of it. Like rather than
You lucid dream? Is that what you're saying?
No. It's more of like let's say you're having a good dream, and then you get woken up, and now you're aware that you had that dream, and you're aware of like the circumstances, but you want to go back into having that dream, but now it's ruined because you can't go back to sleep in a scenario where the things just happen, and you're just consciously trying
things to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
you're making the things happen. It just doesn't feel the same. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Dude, the tree's growing again. Oh my god.
Wait, hold on. We have.
All right. If you guys don't know, like
Dev got his leaves taken away, man.
if Like imagine a tree, but all the leaves are just gone.
You gotta like put a clip like in the final edit just
I'll
of
put a picture of it. But now there's new like growth. I'm excited. I thought it was gonna die, you know, because like no photosynthesis.
No. No, I'm just kidding, man. No, that thing is hammered into me from like 7th grade. But yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Like, no, I have nothing.
No, I think we should probably end.
I was
the
onto
episode.
something, but yeah. We
Yeah.
should call it quits
All right,
now.
see ya.
But yeah,
Hopefully
thanks.
you got something out of that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Same time next week.
Sure.